Well, hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? I am Melanie. I wanted to welcome you to SNHU and welcome to being a part of our SNHU family. As I start today's session, I am unable to see the chat when I have everything going live. So I do have my phone pulled up too, so I can kind of monitor the chat, make sure if you guys have any questions. But just know that I'm going to be going over the most common questions that students have before they get started for the term. We're going to go through some top 10 tips for your success. We're going to talk about a few resources for your success. And I'm also going to spend some time just real quick showing you kind of a few places to navigate and click in your classroom spaces, okay? So I wanted to make sure that you guys kind of know our plan for the webinar here. As a reminder, this webinar is for students that are starting classes on Monday, March 4th in SNHU 107. So first and foremost, your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is very important to us. It is our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, which is the OAC, as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also email them at oac@snhu.edu or visit the Online Accessibility Center website. So who is this OAC team? They are a department here at the university that helps you, the student, get content in a way that works best for your learning style. If you have questions about this, reach out directly to the OAC and they can help you make sure that you get what you need and what might work best for you, okay? Couple of housekeeping items before we dive in today. As y'all already know, if you were here a little bit earlier, you do not need a microphone or camera. They're not enabled. But it sounds like everybody can see me and hear me okay, right? That's the most important thing, and see the screen. We will be utilizing our chat. So if you have questions, you want to say hello, you want to share where you're from, that is where you want to make sure that you are putting those comments. We are in an academic space, so always be mindful of your conduct. As a reminder, academic spaces here at the university include webinars like this, your classroom space, even my SNHU and SNHU Connect. So just always be mindful of your conduct. These webinars, a lot of students have questions about these learning community webinars. They're not graded. They are not required. However, you will have a webinar every week and I show you how to do certain assignments from week to week, and/or we talk about concepts that you're working on in your course. Sometimes we just need somebody to kind of show us like where to click, how to find things, reminders of how to do different assignments or where to find resources for our success. And that is what these webinars are, okay? Just so you know, we're live this week for the preterm webinar. The majority of your webinars are considered on demand or pre-recorded, okay? So what that means is I put a link in the chat and I will post it when we get done, before we get done today too. That's a webinar recording link. That is a YouTube page that you will go to, that these webinars every week, bright and early Monday morning, they will be posted for you to know what you have to do for the week, give you some pointers for your success and some reminders, and they're going to be there to help you just be successful in SNHU 107. Okay? So who am I? This is me. You get to see my face. I do teach SNHU 107, but I also teach a class called IDS 105. I am not the instructor for all of you. There are several sections of SNHU 107, but I do teach a section this term, so I will have a handful of you. To find out who your faculty are, go into your Brightspace classroom. That's where your assignments and your books and all your modules are, right? That's that learn.snhu.edu. When you go into your classroom space, you'll see your My Instructor. I encourage you to click on their My Instructor announcement because they'll share a little bit about them, how to get a hold of them. It's just a really great place for you to get to know who's going to be working with you this term. This is my family. Some fun facts about me. I love the water. I live just outside of Pensacola Beach, Florida, so I'm very lucky to have the Gulf Shore beaches. If you've ever visited them, they are absolutely stunning. But I'm a part-time mermaid. I love the pool, I love the river, I love the lake. It doesn't matter. I'm also an avid road bike cyclist. I love to read, so if you're a reader and have some recommendations, please send them my way. I like a good cup of coffee, hot or iced, it doesn't matter. I enjoy spending time with my two boys. They are going to be 13 and 10. I cannot believe that. But the biggest thing I want y'all to know is that I am a resource for you. And this learning community is here as a resource for you, okay? So a lot of students will be like, what is this learning community? So as I mentioned, nothing is graded in the learning community. The SNHU 107 learning community is found outside of your Brightspace classroom, okay? It's in something called SNHU Connect. SNHU Connect is where you can find the clubs and organizations from the university, even as an online student. Also in there, there's a specific community dedicated to SNHU 107. So that is a place where you can meet and chat with other students who have taken the class, who are currently taking the class. Plus, I go in there and I post, helpful reminders and tips for your success each week. I post reminders about webinar sessions, how to find the links. I also share some just-in-time resources. We have these focus videos here in SNHU 107. The webinars are usually like 30 minutes or less. The focus videos are like 5 minutes or less. There's a couple that are only like 2 minutes, but they just walk you through a specific thing, like, for example, how to find the discussion board and what to do. Okay. What is all of this equal? Just you being a happy, successful student and getting that extra support as you might need it from week to week. And I see you all giving me some book recommendations. Sarah Maas is one of my favorite authors on the planet. So I absolutely love that recommendation. So I think I saw James was part of our chat. I wanted to make sure that he gets to say hello to you if he is able to be here. James, are you here?
I am.
Oh, perfect. Well, I am going to introduce you guys to one of our most amazing associate deans here at SNHU, Dr. James Winfield, or Dr. J, as his students call him. He's our associate dean of first year experience. That's what FYE stands for, and retention strategies. So I told you some fun facts about me. Now I'm going to tell you some fun facts about Dr. J. He is a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. So where are my Marvel fans? He loves to cook. He's a family man, and he has an incredible team in addition to himself who are just a resource for you and your success here at the university. So Dr. J, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Melanie. Welcome, everyone. So glad that you have decided to continue or start your journey in academics with SNHU. Uh, as mentioned, I'm Dr. J. That's what my students call me. My full name, Dr. James Winfield, and I teach as well as serve as an administrator here at SNHU. So I also teach SNHU 107, and I teach another course known as IDS 105, similar to the courses that Melanie speaks about and has taught as well. But as mentioned, I work specifically in first year experience and retention strategies. What that means to you is that I want your first year to be the best year possible. And then continued from that, we want to make sure that we retain you in the way of making certain that you continue with your educational experience here at SNHU. So Melanie did mention that there is a team that I have. I have some peer mentors who are very skilled students and immediate past students who can support you in your transition at SNHU. One thing I will say, they are not academic tutors. So they do not support you as far as writing your paper, not write. No one's going to write your papers but you. uh, they're not going to support helping you with your papers or math problems. That's what a tutor is for. But if you have questions about resources or how to connect with different parts of campus online, and they can support you with that. Or if you just need that nudge on, moving forward, or you're just like, okay, I really don't know what to do at this point as far as navigating the institution and all the different resources they can support you. But with that, there's an acronym that I want you all to remember: PEN, PEN. So our mascot is known as the Penman. And with that, in this case, PEN is an acronym for Persist, Engage, and Network. If there's anything that you remember, I want you to remember this as far as what SNHU wants for you. We want you to persist in life. First and foremost, we want you to achieve those goals. We want you to be as balanced as possible, whatever that may mean for you in your life. But we also want you to persist from term to term academically. So let us know how we can help. And the way that we can help and the way that you can support that is by engaging in the myriad of resources and engaging with academic support to get tutoring if you need it, connecting with your academic advisor if you just have a question about your upcoming courses. Talk to your professors, which is a huge part of networking. So networking entails connecting with other individuals, as we know. Connect with your peers within discussion posts and all these other ways that you can communicate and commune with other individuals in the SNHU community. So among those staff and faculty and your peers, we want you to network as much as possible because as you seek to advance, if you want to go into a graduate program or if you need a reference, you need to have those connections. So make certain that you have that positive relationship with a faculty member or two, just so that you can have that connection to the institution, but also to support you as you move forward. So, in a nutshell, PEN, persist, engage, network. If you don't remember anything, which I know you'll remember a lot because Melanie is very engaging and has a great knack and understanding and care for our learners and wants to see you succeed as well. So know that we both are champions for you all, and I'm so glad to be among you all today and continue to do great work. I know you're going to excel, and let us know if you need help. Right, asking for help is not a point of weakness. So whether you are um, a military veteran coming into this space and you're into civilian life now and you're trying to get that degree, you are a first generation college student like I was, you have it, you can do this. Okay, you'll hit it a lot, you definitely got this. So I'll hand it over back to Melanie and just wanted to say welcome and looking forward to all the great work you're going to do.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. J. I appreciate you spending some time with us this, I guess, late morning, early afternoon, depending on where you are across the U.S., right, y'all? Well, like Dr. J mentioned, one of the biggest thing is we want you to be successful. I want you to be successful. We want you to connect with the university. We want you to utilize the services and the departments here at the university. But one of the biggest things that we want you to remember, if anything, is you got this. I want you to say it out loud or type it in the chat like, I got this, like, I can do this. Because I'm sure for many of you, like I mentioned earlier, there might be a host of emotions running through you. You might be excited, you might be nervous, you might be overwhelmed, you might be a combination of all of the things. You might have tried school before and it didn't work out. You might be a very first time college student. You've never done classes before. Maybe you've gotten a degree in something else and now you're coming to get a degree in something completely different. Maybe you're here to get a degree in something that you've always just been passionate about. Like, no matter where you are coming from, we're just so excited that you have chosen SNHU to continue or to start your academic journey. And we know that adding school to an already busy schedule can be a lot. We're not saying everything's going to be sparkle, glitter, and sunshine. Even those things are amazing. We know that there can be some tough moments in this journey too, but that's why you have so many resources. And we want you to first and foremost believe in you and all that you are capable of. So, and I love the chat. A pluses, everybody, A pluses on your first week. You're going to be amazing. And you have to believe that. You have to think to yourself, like, I can do this. I am worth this journey. It may not be easy, but it's going to be so worth it, right? So as we transition into talking about SNHU 107, I just wanted to just go over quickly, like, what your SNHU 107 course is going to encompass, right? You're going to have 5 discussion assignments. A discussion assignment is when you will be asked a series of questions and you need to answer those questions with your thoughts, utilizing your own personal experiences and the reading assignments or the concepts we've covered in the class, okay? You're going to have 5 of those. When you have a discussion assignment, I want you to keep Thursdays and Sundays in mind, okay? So for example, classes start Monday, March 4th. So week 1, you're going to have your very first discussion assignment, and there's a whole webinar dedicated to all the assignments for Module 1. So I'm not going to get super into it. But what I'm going to tell you is you're going to be basically introducing yourself and talking a little bit about the word ownership, okay? What you're going to do is want to make sure that by Thursday of next week that you have created what's called your initial discussion post. That's you answering the questions. And then by Sunday of week 1, you want to make sure that you've replied to at least 2 of your classmates. Okay? So anytime you have a discussion assignment, initial post, which is you sharing your thoughts and answering the questions, are always due by Thursdays. And then your peer responses are due by Sundays. If you want to work on those earlier in the week, totally fine. You want to respond to more than 2 of your classmates, again, totally fine. Just make sure that you've responded substantially to at least 2 of your classmates. A couple of sentences isn't going to cut it. If you have gotten excited and already gotten in your class and you've already posted your very first discussion post for next week, that's okay. That's fine. Just know that your faculty members are not going to be looking at them until next week. The other really important thing about your very first week is that initial discussion post is due by Thursday, 11:59 p.m. East Coast time. So know your time zones. After week 1, it moves to your time zone, but just pay attention to that very first Thursday post, okay? The other assignments you're going to have throughout the term, you're going to have 5 journals. These journal assignments, you're going to have a Microsoft Word document that you open up, and it's going to have a series of questions that you need to answer. You're going to fill out that document using complete sentences and your thoughts and your opinions from what you've learned in class and your experiences. You're going to answer the questions, you're going to turn it in. Journal assignments are always due by Sunday of the week that they're due, okay? Warm-ups, you have a couple of warm-ups. These are like an open book quiz. They are something that, again, open book. You can take them as many times as you need to, so don't let the word warm-up or quiz frighten you or make you nervous because, like I said, open book, open note. You can take them as many times as possible, and they auto-grade. So as soon as you take them, it'll auto-grade, okay? Everybody with me so far? Making sense, okay? The last thing that you will have is one of your biggest assignments of the term, and that is your final project. Your final project is worth a significant part of your grade, as you notice looking at the total points and the point values. However, you are kind of working on pieces of this project through your entire term. So when you get to that final project, it's actually a template. It's a document that has a series of questions on it that you've talked about the concepts or even did some assignments very similarly throughout the term that you're going to answer in that final project. And we have a whole webinar dedicated to all of that. Okay, so in summarization, you got discussions, journals, warm-ups, and projects. We will have webinars that go through everything from week to week, but also make sure you're paying attention to your course announcements. Your faculty member will be spending time in those course announcements, giving you tips, tricks, ideas for your success, plus check your university SNHU email. It is so important that you're checking that multiple times throughout the week just so you can stay on top of anything because that's how the university communicates with you, okay? So let's dive into those top 10 tips real quick. First and foremost, prioritize your time. So y'all, honest question, have you thought about how you're going to be organized or how you're going to, or when you're going to study for your SNHU? When are you going to do your homework? When you're going to do your reading assignments? Have you thought about that at all? It's really important to make SNHU time in a way that works best for you. Okay, so think about your life, your lifestyle. Like if you're somebody who likes to get up in the morning before everybody else, maybe that's your study time. Maybe you're somebody that likes to work late at night after everybody's already in bed. Maybe you're somebody that kind of has to put it in the nooks and crannies of your day. That's okay. You just have to find time to do your SNHU work in a way that works for you. And you're going to have to learn how to prioritize your time. Okay, that means who and what is important and what is going to help you get to your goals. Okay. Tip number 2 is to make connections. You guys are already excelling at this. You're getting to know potential classmates. Attending live webinars just like this is a great space to do that. In your actual courses, there's going to be discussion boards. Get to know your classmates. That's a great way to get to know them. Get to know your faculty. You know, if you're real nervous or you just want to say hey to your faculty, send them an email. Say, hey, I'm Melanie. I'm first-time college student, or I'm back, getting my degree. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I just want to let you know we love getting those kinds of emails, okay? It just helps us get to know you even better so we can help support your success. Plus, get to know the other SNHU departments. How many of y'all have connected with your advisor? If you haven't yet, your advisors are a gem. They're a wonderful, wonderful resource for you and your success. They can connect you to so many different departments, okay? But there's so many different departments at your fingertips, and you're going to learn a ton about them during SNHU 107. But I just want you to know, like Dr. J mentioned earlier, reach out, okay? Don't hesitate to connect for your success or if you have questions or you're stuck. Tip number 3 is to purchase your ebook and get connected. So you have an electronic textbook for SNHU 107, okay? Has anybody gotten their book already? Real easy. You can actually find your book. If you go into your Brightspace Classroom, click on the Start Here area, it pulls up your book and it pulls up instructions of how to get it purchased, and then you'll get an email to get everything connected, okay? If you get stuck, you're not sure of how to do something, or you can't find something, or something didn't work right, reach out to your SNHU advisor, okay? How do you find the university bookstore? When you log into that Brightspace class at the top, you're going to see like a menu of options. Click on the Help, the little down arrow, click on Online Student Services. It pulls up all the departments. They're literally a click away. The SNHU bookstore is the first one. You put in your course code, which is SNHU 107, for example, that you're taking it online. It'll pull up your course materials. You edit to cart like you were checking out on Amazon, pay for it, you're good to go. But you will get an email that has setup and follow-up instructions. Now, every term I get asked, is there a hard copy of that book? Sometimes there is a loose leaf paper version of the textbook that y'all need for SNHU 107. Not always, it tends to sell fast, but I will tell you that students will often get both, the paper version if it's available, and they get the e-version, but they always come back and tell me, I don't know why I wasted the money because I never even opened up the paper version. I get it. I like to hold the books. I like to flip the pages. I like to highlight it. But those are all things that you can also do in your electronic textbooks, and you can take them right with you with your Vital Source app. Okay, so just know that if you're nervous about electronic textbooks, take a deep breath. You will get used to them, and you might find that you start to love them. But again, if you get stuck, reach out to your advisor. You should have gotten an email also, so check your university email or whatever email you might have connected to your SNHU email. That'll give you those instructions too of like how to order your books and how to get everything situated. But again, your advisors are the best point of contact if you're stuck, you're not sure, or you're just overwhelmed. Okay. Tip number 4 is a backup plan. So make sure you have a solid backup plan. Have you thought about what you'll do if your computer breaks, if your Wi-Fi or your internet goes out? Maybe you have a certain work schedule and that work schedule changes. What if you maybe have somebody lined up to take care of maybe people that you're taking care of in your house, whether it be kids or other humans or even pets, and that falls through? Have a backup plan. I tell students all the time, write down your advisor's phone number and email address. Write down every term, whoever your instructors are, their phone numbers, email addresses. In case something happens, remember this. Reach out and let somebody know. We want to work with you. We want to be successful. I have had students that have emailed me and said, hey, Professor Shop, I have sick kids. It has been a heck of a week. My assignment's going to be a little bit late. Okay, I now know I can work with you. Or, oh my gosh, we had a bad snowstorm, or we had hurricane weather, we lost power, electricity, I'm just getting caught up, I'm just getting things to you. Okay, I can work with you. All right, so never hesitate to let somebody know if something is going on that'll prevent you from turning in an assignment, or if you miss something, never hesitate to reach out and let them know why. And sometimes it's just because life happened. Be honest, be your own best advocate, but have that backup plan in place. Know the phone numbers and email addresses for your advisors and for your instructors. Think about if your internet connection goes out, like where can I still use the internet? Well, most coffee shops, McDonald's has free Wi-Fi. Local libraries can be a gem of a resource for you to utilize just in case you get stuck. I had a brand new laptop totally die one term, like 2 weeks into using it, black screen of death. Totally died. They just send it off. They gave me it. They replaced it with a new one. Same thing happened. So like things break. I've had students that like toddlers or their significant other dropped their phone and shattered it, and that's how they were doing their classes. So things come up. You're not going to be the only person or the last person that has happened to. So just really make sure that you're utilizing and connecting with your resources like your instructors and your advisors to help keep you on track. Okay. We talked about this a little bit with knowing about like how to prioritize, but you want to have a to-do list, y'all. You want to know what's on your to-do list, both inside and outside the classroom, whether it's home life, professional life, academic life, so you can kind of get organized. Don't overwhelm yourself. Do what works for you. Where are my planner people? I know I saw a couple of students in the chat mention like, I got a planner, I'm all organized. I'm not a planner person. I put it in my iPhone with alarm person and Post-it notes. See, Post-it notes. That's how I get organized. My husband uses like a Google Doc, but the biggest thing is use what works best for you. Don't try to be like somebody else. Don't go buy some crazy expensive planner just because, like, do what works best for you. I even have some students that they told me they put like their to-dos for whoever's in their household, like on a big whiteboard. I have another student, they record every night in their voice note what they have coming up the next day. So again, use what works for you. You guys have heard me say it a million times already, but communication is key. You're going to hear me continue to say it all term long. If you're stuck, if you have questions, you're not sure on something, you're just overwhelmed, communication is key. You can always email your instructors. A lot of instructors too, you can always call. A lot of them will text message. Some even will schedule like Microsoft Teams or Google FaceTime or Google Hangout or FaceTime conversations. Every department has that email address here at SNHU. Every department has a phone number. There's no reason that you can't communicate for your success, okay? Tip number 7 is to watch the webinars. Like I said, you'll have these webinars every single week. When they're on demand, which most of them are, it means they're pre-recorded. They are loaded and ready to go. So like when you log into classes on Monday, that webinar is on the First Year Experience YouTube page, ready to roll. It's going to walk you through your discussion board. It's going to walk you through your other assignments for week 1, show you where to click and how to find things. You'll be able to find them every single Monday morning. I also get a lot of questions about start day. Is there a certain time you have to log in or be somewhere? No, there is not. You log in and you work on stuff when it's convenient for you. The only thing you need to do is make sure that you have your assignments submitted by the due dates and deadlines, which remember, discussion initial posts are always Thursdays, journals, warm-ups, anything else are always on Sundays, but you can always work ahead as convenient for you and your schedule, okay? Tip number 8 is to know your success team. So I want to take a minute. And I want you, I'm checking in the chat just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Tell me who is on your success team. Who is somebody that is motivating you to get this degree? Who is somebody that will maybe just like pop in and, you know, read your writing, keep you going? Like, who is that person for you? It is so important for y'all to know your success team and keep them close with you, because on the days when things aren't so wonderful, you need the people that are going to tell you the hard truths. You need the people that are going to help you pick yourself up and keep going, okay? So know who those people are and keep them close to you. Tip number 9 is to use your feedback. So every week your instructors will be grading your assignments, okay? So next week you start classes on Monday. So your very first week, modules run Monday through Sunday, all right? Everybody, that makes sense to everybody? It can be kind of confusing if you're not used to being in school, okay? So module 1 starts on Monday, ends on Sunday of that week. So you know that you have to have that discussion post done by Thursdays, and then peer responses, your warm-up, or anything else is always due by Sundays, right? Well, Sundays at 11:59 p.m., once you submit your stuff, faculty then have 7 whole days to grade, okay? So some faculty might grade as things come in. Some might grade throughout that week of week 2. Some you might not see your stuff until Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. the following week. So don't panic if you don't see things right away. If you're concerned on something or you want to make sure you submitted it, always reach out to your instructor and they'll be happy to let you know. But the most important thing is your instructor will spend time giving you feedback in the grade center that tells you what you did well. Each area of the rubric where you're graded, they're going to tell you what you did well, what you might have struggled on. They might refer you to some resources for your success. So make sure you're utilizing that feedback, taking it seriously and reviewing it. Sometimes I'll have students that are like, oh my gosh, I never even knew that was there. And it's like week 7. They could have changed some things. They could have been doing things a lot better if they would have just read the feedback from their instructor. Okay, so just know that it's there. Tip number 10, we're rounding the corner, y'all, is to use your resources. You've heard Dr. J and I both say it, but we want you to be successful here at the university. So you're going to learn a lot this term here in SNHU 07 about the SNHU resources, which are the departments and the people that are here at SNHU. And it's SNHU or SNU, however you want to say it, y'all. And then you're also going to learn a lot about the personal resources or the social supports you have outside the classroom. So here at SNHU, this is not a comprehensive list, but you always have your instructors, your advisors, you got the career team. Academic support is a wonderful student resource that a lot of students like to use. That is where the tutors are located, like the subject tutors, like math, English. There's also written feedback service, which is a writing resource. So if you're nervous about your academic writing, you can submit your drafted work to them and they'll give you some specific feedback based on what you were looking for. You have SNHU Connect, which houses the SNHU 107 learning community, plus all the clubs and organizations here at the university. You got the library, anything technical happening, you always have the help desk, okay? Outside the classroom, you have those significant others, parents, kids, friends, coworkers, extended family, pets included, but none of it matters if you're not advocating for your own success and utilizing your resources. Okay, you don't have to do this alone, and we're so excited that you picked SNHU to either start or continue your academic journey. One note I wanted to make before I show you guys a quick classroom tour is that for SNHU Connect, this is where the SNHU 107 learning community is. It's where the student clubs and organizations are. Logins are not created until about 7 to 10 days after you register for your classes. So you have to have a different login. It's called the Pulse login. I promise you, you'll get used to all of these acronyms and all of these names. You will get into the routine. But SNHU Connect has a separate login. your login may not have been created yet. It takes about 7 to 10 days again after you register for classes. So if you hop off this webinar and go to get in there and you're locked out or don't have access, don't panic. It can take a few days. There's nothing that's graded in there. It's just kind of more of a place for students to socialize, get some extra support, and get further connected to the university. But your login will be coming. If it's been 7 to 10 days, you can always email the SNHU Connect team, and they will double check it and make sure they get everything working. Okay, I always like to tell students that because sometimes after this webinar, they go to like dive in like real quick, and then they cannot get in, and you get nervous and you get overwhelmed, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, all right, so make sure if you do get an SNHU Connect, find the SNHU 107 learning community and say, hey, there's a lot of students starting classes just like you, and it's a really great space. So can everybody see my screen? This is an example of an SNHU classroom. This is actually my classroom because I am teaching SNHU 107 this term, but I wanted to show you guys just a few things. So remember at the top, you got course menu, and you have all these headings kind of across here. One thing I wanted to show you is if you click on course menu, it's going to give you a direct link to all of the announcements, okay? So you'll be able to see any announcements that your instructor might have put, all right? But look for that My Instructor announcement. You have to scroll down. They'll have a picture of them, information about them. I just wanted to make sure that you know that I don't get to teach all of you. I do in the learning community, but I'm not necessarily your direct instructor for your actual graded classroom experience, okay? For some of you, I am. Same with Dr. J. So I want to show you the announcements. I also want to show you right here under learning modules. If you haven't yet, make sure you click on Start Here, because Start Here walks you through the syllabus for SNHU 107, so you can kind of know the policies of the classroom and overview of what is due. Plus, here is a whole section that walks you through getting your books purchased and getting everything connected, and also some helpful information on that vital source bookshelf, okay? So just know all of that is right here underneath Start Here. As a reminder, your weeks for your class, you have 8 weeks. So each week is one module. So module 1 is week 1. Module 2 is week 2. All right, I just wanted to point that out. So when you are ready for module 1, next week on Monday, you click on module 1. And I just want to show you guys this because sometimes students don't realize this. Click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. So you're going to click directly on there. It's going to open up the objectives of the module, kind of an overview. There's a lot of scrolling down and clicking over. Okay, I just don't want you to miss something. But one of the big things I want to point out is every module will have what's called this required resources section. It'll tell you what chapters in the book you're supposed to be reading. It'll have some helpful videos. It might have some links to blogs or journal articles. There's also some additional things that you can review and watch. Make sure you're paying attention to those pieces and parts of the module too, okay? This will take you right into your discussion assignment. So like I said, there's a whole module on this for next week, a whole webinar dedicated to module 1. But what I wanted to show you, what most students ask me, is right here's the questions you're going to be answering. Okay, so there's 4 questions, but notice there's a few pieces and parts to each question. So always make sure you answer them all. Students are like, how do I even get started? Well, you want to click on this Start a New Thread. And when you do that, you put in your subject. So let's say Melanie Intro, week 1, can be whatever you want. And then you'll type right in here. Make sure you write in complete sentences. Make sure you spell check. Please capitalize the word I and spell out the word you, okay? And then you would click Post. If you click this little box that says subscribe to thread, then it just means that when people respond to your post, you'll just get a quick little email, okay? So I wanted to show you that, but I also wanted to show you, like, what if I've already posted and I want to respond to my classmates? How do I do that? Well, once you post, your post's going to look like this. Let's say this was a classmate. You'll just be able to click right on the title. Again, notice it's blue. Gets you where you want to go, and you'll be able to read whatever your instructor or your peer had to say, and you click on Reply to Thread, and then you can type right in here, okay? So I wanted to show you guys that just really quickly because a lot of students are like, okay, where do I find that? How do I know to do that? Also with Module 1, you will have that warm-up, which remember, like I said, with that warm-up, it is like an open book quiz, okay? So make sure when you're going through the module, you're scrolling all the way down and clicking all the way over, all right? So that's just a quick tour about that. The other quick things I wanted to show you are you have access to the library right here, their homepage, frequently asked questions, citing your sources guide, all kinds of cool stuff right at your fingertips. Academic support, if you click on academic support, has an entire menu of services for your success here at SNHU. So a couple of the big ones, students love 24/7 drop-in tutoring, which is just a quick connection, a click of convenience if you're stuck on something. They also have more one-on-one tutoring down here. So if you have questions about those things, click on Try It Now. The big heavy hitter that a lot of students love is this written feedback service. You can upload and submit drafts of any of your writing assignments, discussions, journals, projects to the academic support written feedback team. They will ask you, you'll fill out like a little thing that says like what you're looking for, like what you want to double check, and they'll give you targeted feedback within 12 hours. Okay, students love it. Students always tell me, like when they start using it, like week 4, week 5, they're like, oh my gosh, I should have been using this since week 1. So I'm putting that out there for y'all. Don't wait, okay? It's very helpful. And if you're nervous about your academic writing or you just haven't written academically in a long time, it's a great resource for your success. Last but not least, click on this help button. It's going to give you quick IT service desk access. There's these really helpful student tutorial videos. If you click on that, it loads a YouTube page that walks you through my SNHU, discussion boards, how to find your grades, all kinds of fun stuff, okay? The other thing I wanted to point out is you can find all departments underneath online student services. Now, as an SNHU student, you get Office 365 for free. So like I mentioned, with your SNHU 107 class, you have some template assignments, you have that project. Those are all done on Microsoft Word or something compatible documents. You get Office 365 for free as an SNHU student. You can find that here underneath Online Student Services. If you scroll down about halfway, you'll see this Office 365 and other software. Click on it, follow the prompts. It'll help you get it all downloaded for your success, okay? The other things I wanted to remind you about is that this is where you can find the bookstore, advising, another link to academic support. My SNHU orientation is a great virtual tour of a lot of the things you might access here at SNHU. So I always encourage students to definitely take it. You can access student financial services. Here's that online accessibility center. There's also a quick link to SNHU Connect. So when you click on SNHU Connect, it'll take you into those communities. If you want just a quick access into the SNHU 107 learning community, go underneath course menu, and you have a learning community link right in your class that's embedded. Click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. Maybe my internet's being slow. It gives you a quick video about login instructions. Click SNHU 107 and the community looks something like this. It's taking just a second for it to pull up. You'll notice that I post reminders. Students are in here already, like saying hello, checking out all the things. It's just kind of a really cool space for everybody. So that is all that I have. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen just so I can make sure that I double check all of your guys' questions. With Office 365, I'm pretty sure it can be downloaded. I'm not 100% sure if it's web only. Dr. J, do you know? But I know students say that they utilize it and they love that it's free because Microsoft Office is expensive if you already bought it or you don't already have it. So y'all, was this helpful? Did it help answer your questions? Did it kind of give you like an overview a little bit about how the term is going to go, things to expect? The webinars from week to week are usually a little bit shorter than this, but they'll walk you through everything. So remember, next week, you are going to have that webinar that walks you through all those assignments for week 1. So I don't want you to feel like you missed something or you're not sure on something, because we will walk through all of everything for week 1. And I will post that recording link if you want to bookmark it. Right now, a lot of students like to just have that accessible at their fingertips so they know where to go every Monday and be able to answer those questions. Okay, so like I said, today's webinar is recorded. I just posted the webinar recording link for the First Year Experience YouTube page in the chat. If you have questions or you ever can't find the webinars, you can always reach out in the learning community, or you can reach out to your instructor too, okay? So the other thing is, real quick, I just want to make sure I got all the questions. It looks like some of you guys have already utilized academic support, which is absolutely amazing. Way to go. It sounds like there's a lot of support out here for your success outside the classroom, and we are just so excited to have you here at SNHU. So y'all, that's all I have for today. Thank you for joining us. Dr. J, thank you for tuning in with us. I hope you guys know that you're going to be absolutely incredible. We are so excited to officially welcome you to the SNHU family. Enjoy your weekend. Map out your SNHU study time for next week, and just remember, you got this. Goodbye, everybody.